Hey guys, wonders they say shall never cease to end. A Lagos businessman who was adopted in Ago Palace Way, Lagos, 2 weeks ago has been released after paying 30 million as ransom. He was kidnapped by 4 hoodmen who cornered him at midnight as he was going to enter his car parked in the garage. His adopters called a day after demanding a ransom of 100 million, but the family members and friends were able to raise 30 million before he was released. His adopters called a day after demanding ransom of 100 million, but the family members could pay 30 million. The middle-aged chief executive officer, CEO of his company, who pleaded passionately that his name should not be used because the kidnappers threatened to come back for him if he spoke on the incident. He told Crime Guard that he was taking a big risk by narrating what he suffered throughout the 2 weeks he spent with the adopters. I felt that I could only talk about the trauma and the psychological torture they subjected me to so that it will arouse consciousness and alert security agencies over what to expect in the coming days, he stated. According to him, I saw hell in the hands of those kidnappers, and they were boasting that they will soon take over Lagos, and the police cannot match their firepower. They kidnapped me that weekend as I was coming out from my bar to enter my garage and drive off. They came with an SUV, and as they were flashing their light, I pulled out my car and was heading towards the main gate when a minibus, popularly called Keke, blocked the main gate. I thought they were avoiding the bad portion of the road, but while I waited, the SUV blocked my car. They came out from their car. One of them was flashing what looked like an identity card, shouting DSS, while another started releasing gun shots at the same time, pulling me out from my car. They pushed me into their car, forced me to lie low and speed off. We continued moving while they tied a cloth over my eyes. Notably, when we raced for some minutes, one of them, who I suspected to be their informant and probably a forceman, got down from their car. I said a forceman because of the way he spoke to them when we were leaving my bar. We moved for interminable hours until they got to a spot. They stopped and led me into a building like a flat and chained me on the legs. Then they started beating me with different weapons. Some as strong as iron, some like the normal sticks. They warned me that if I tried to remove the cloth over my eyes, they would simply waste me. So I was just receiving severe beatings and torture with my eyes covered. To me, it was as if a stone would fall on my head any moment and kill me. I was crying like a baby. For the period I was there, almost 2 weeks, they were feeding me with an apple and water daily. Earlier, they wanted to know what I would eat, but I was afraid of being poisoned, and I told them just apples. The beating and the torture continued until I heard another of their victims, who was kidnapped, raising his voice. He was beating and telling them, "It is not money you want. Is it not money you want? Don't beat me. I will give you money." On hearing this, they calmed down, and I used the opportunity to open the scarf they used blindfolding me. Silently, I saw 3 of them It is like they divided themselves into groups. Those that target their victims are different from those that guide the victims, and those that negotiate for ransom. This is because the moment the man said, "I will give you money," they made fantastic calls, while at the same time going through his phones. The story took another dimension. When they saw only 10 million in the man's account, and they rebuked him and quickly transferred the money into their accounts. Unfortunately for the man, as they were complaining that the money was not commensurate with his beast, alert was received in the man's phone, and from the way they jubilated, it must be a huge sum. They did not waste time in releasing the man. I saw that there were other kidnapped victims chained in the room. Some were chained in both hands and legs, while some, like me, were chained only on the leg. After that, as I quickly covered my eyes, they turned towards me and started telling me that they have now landed in Lagos and would go to any extent to get at all they wanted. They said that while they were operating in the East, they did not know that they were just getting akara money, that now in Lagos, they were making real money. They said they have decided to relocate to Lagos when they noticed that wealthy Igbo people in Lagos refused coming home for fear of being kidnapped. But now they have landed in Lagos, and both the police and any other security agency cannot withstand their firepower. They boasted that they will face the police, fire for fire, juju for juju, and nobody can stop them until all the wealthy Igbo people in Lagos pay through their noses. Their targets are Igbos. So, who are these people? Who are these people? Continue boasting and development of Yoruba land, and the Yoruba people kidnapped you. Oga calling it is to part Igbo bad, to paint Igbo bad. Now Yoruba kidnapped Fulani people. Okay, I can't really get that. Someone just dropped that. Yes, it is expected all this is as a result of the outcome of the 2023 presidential governorship election. But the only unfortunate thing is that the kidnappers might still be the Igbos in connivance with security operatives. Sanwo-Olu again, the same Sanwo-Olu that was rejected for Rose Vival. I fear who not fear now. Shebi they don't start to restructure the Lagos state with kidnapping. Now, thank God they said they are for the Igbos. Sense is too far from you, animal tout. Okay, guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. This is really very terrible. The truth remains that nowhere in Nigeria is free. Nowhere is safe.